This meeting to order, and the first order of business will be the approval of our last month's meeting, October the 3rd. I won't say last month, October 3rd. Motion by Betty, seconded by Chairman Rand. Do we have any corrections? Changes of any type? I'll tell you what, it was a long one, and Jan, I thought you were perfect. I read them. I couldn't find any mistakes, even as an old English teacher. Call for a vote on the adoption of our minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to our informational items. The first one we have will be the Greater Peoria Sanitary District. Brian, are you all right? Brian's here. Brian is one of the most efficient in attendance that we have ever had
I try. Thank you,
in
Mr.
this
Chairman.
category.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy to entertain any comments or questions on the minutes. We're busy as always down on Dar Street and throughout the city and county. So happy to be here and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Congratulations on becoming a member of the Public Building Commission.
Well, thank you.
And do you have any foresight for us in that area?
After my first meeting, maybe. That hasn't happened yet. So eventually.
Anyone with questions for Brian? Thank you, Brian. And our next item of business will be Mark. And Mark Little, our facilities master plan that we've put together over the years. And do you have any comments, reports?
Actually, I have a couple updates for you, Mr. Chairman. Out at the jail, the domestic hot water boiler repair, those parts have arrived and are scheduled to go in on this Wednesday. So that should be repaired by the end of the week. The other item, the CLIP project, which was the upgrades to the VAV controllers on AHU 13 and 14, those parts have arrived and that project is currently underway. So those parts are being installed. The Public Defender and IT Space Optimization Project, that will go to bid November 1st with a pre-bid meeting on site for all bidders on the 3rd. That project has also already been placed out in the paper for notification. Bid opening will be the 22nd of November, and then we've got to go through that bid, and then we'll work with the county administrator in getting that project to the board before the end of the year. So, and the other project I mentioned last month we were working on was the cement replacement out by the bonding door. Just saw a picture of that. They've got half of that poured, and as soon as that dries, they'll do the other half. So that'll be completed also. The 7 projects that were approved as part of the board meeting a couple weeks ago from the capital projects that are going to Midwest Engineering. That PO has been issued, that contract has been issued. We're working on setting up a meeting with them to lay out the dates and schedules for that. As soon as I get that, I will bring that back here and submit that each month on where each of those are and where they are through that process, and when we'll be ready to bring those, when those will go to bid, and when we'll be ready to bring them to committee and board for final approval. So, any questions?
Anyone with a question for Mark? Thank you, Mark, for your update. And we have 3 resolutions which we have been presented to us. And we need a motion on a boiler right here in the courthouse. Can we have a motion to proceed on this resolution? Motion by Betty, seconded by Jimmy. Okay, and Becca is going to handle this at this time for us.
Yes, thank you. We did apply for a competitive public sector natural gas incentive project. We put in an application for the courthouse for replacement of one of the burners. And that was funded in entirety. So it's a project of $94,548 with zero out of pocket. It is an energy efficiency upgrade, hence them funding it with an approximate savings of about $8,000 a year, or 9,757 therms. Happy to answer any questions.
And this is by way of Ameren.
It is.
Any questions for Becca in regard to this? Being no questions, all those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Thank you, Becca. And our second resolution is going to be with a project up there in that Chillicothe area that I think many of you have heard about. I think, is this in Mr. Fennell's district? Mr. Fennell's going to continue to benefit after he leaves the board. We need a motion on this to proceed with this resolution. Motion by Betty, seconded by Dylan. Okay, and we got Jeff. Jeff is our go-to guy for the highway department right now. I want to just tell everybody and wish her recovery. She is absent from work right now because of being exposed to the COVID virus from one of her sons. And we hope that Amy does not get it and is back on duty with Jeff. But I'll assure you, Jeff has got it in good hands.
All right, so structure number 072-4804 is on Dickinson Lane, which is about a quarter mile off of Old Galena Road. It is a Medina Township bridge. It's in very poor condition, and so we've got the plans done, and we held a bid letting a couple weeks ago. Stark Excavating was the low bid at $739,762.93. We currently have a little over $365,000 in IDOT Township Bridge Program funds available for the project. Those funds can only be used for township bridges. Additionally, Medina Road District is going to utilize their entire allotment of Rebuild Illinois funds for a total of $174,194.52. After the Township Bridge Program and Rebuild funds are used up, the rest of the project will be split evenly between the township and the county, and we're looking at close to $100,000 for each of our entities for this project.
And we are approving the low bid, correct?
Correct.
And you have worked with this company before. I've only worked for two of these companies. Both the other ones were very responsible. Stark has come in with the lowest bid, and they've done good work for us in the past. So Stark, even though they're out of Bloomington, the other two, although I think Stark does have a small office over here, right?
They have an office just down the road from this.
Okay. But Finch and Autobahn, they're two fine Peoria area companies. Yes, Jim.
Thanks, Coach. Jeff, seeing that this is a wood structure and you don't see many wood structures left, how many other wood structure bridges do we have left in Peoria County?
Bridges with a wood deck, we have maybe three or four more. Wood piles are a little more, that's the support piles underneath basically the telephone poles. We have quite a few of those left over. So some of them have been repaired or replaced with steel piles. Others we just continue to monitor and repair them as needed or replace them when we get to that point. So I don't have top off my head how many wood piles, but we have quite a few more than you would think.
No, I was just curious because I don't recall seeing a bridge with wood beams on it.
The beams are actually steel, but the
Or well,
deck,
steams, but the wood, the
yeah,
roadways
there's
wood.
2 or 3 left after this one.
Since you bring that up, Mr. Dillon, the original one was built in 1939, the year I was born, so it wouldn't be the original one up there, I'll assure you. But it is a wooden structure. Anyone else with comments or questions? Mine was just a comment, it was not a question. All those in favor of awarding this contract to Stark Excavating, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. So Stark will be doing the work for us at a cost of our $100,000, $99,900 and something. So we're getting a pretty good deal out of that. All right, the third one has to do with Old Galena Road, which many of you heard of between the roundabouts and so forth. We need a motion on this joint funding project. All right, Betty, you got them all, Betty. We're counting on you. And seconded by Dillon. We won't make our chairman work too hard while he's serving on our committee. Okay, got to call for that vote, don't I? I got a first and a second. Okay. Okay, what? Yeah, Jeff, I'm going to give Jeff a chance to talk to it. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right, so we're nearing the completion of the plans for Old Galena Road from Boy Scout Road, or Neil Lane, as IDOT likes to call it, down to the roundabout at State Street. And then there's another portion between the roundabout and Illinois 29 that'll be on the same project. We're planning on a January 20th IDOT bid letting. Current estimated cost of the project is $7.5 million. We have $4.5 million in federal funds allocated for the project. The remaining $3 million of the project will come from county MFT, but out of that MFT fund, $2.7 million is from the Rebuild Illinois program. This resolution allows us to utilize the federal funds for the project and appropriates the $3 million in motor fuel tax funds.
Now this will eventually complete the project, and it hooks up Cedar Hills.
Yeah, we'll have complete reconstruction from 29 to Cedar Hills Drive.
Okay. And even though we're taking, like he said, $3 million out of our motor fuel tax, 2.7 of that's going to come from Rebuild Illinois. Any questions for Jeff in regard to this? All those in favor of adopting the resolution signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Thank you, Jeff. Pretty easy. And we got miscellaneous. Anybody got anything for miscellaneous? The only thing I can say is everybody said, Phil, you're pretty happy today. Now, maybe I don't seem happy here. I'm serious, so forth. But my Phillies won the National League pennant yesterday. Hey, how about that? Miracles never cease to happen, do they? Now, it would be a big miracle if they won the World Series. But you got to be humble when you win, and we're trying to be humble and be quiet. Maybe we can slip in. All right? Does anybody else have anything wonderful like that to say? Nobody wants to talk about the Yankees or Houston or okay. No other comments or questions, everybody? Then this meeting is adjourned.